Hey, so you're thinking about a career in data, but you look around and it feels, well, completely overwhelming, right? You're not alone. But I promise, by the end of this, you're going to have a crystal clear map to guide you. Okay, let's just dive right in.
This is the big question, isn't it? Data analytics, data science, AI, which one do you pick? It's the question that honestly stops so many people before they even get started. If you're feeling confused, that is totally normal. But getting this choice right is absolutely crucial.
And that's no joke. I've seen it happen. Jumping into the deep end without knowing how to swim just leads to a ton of frustration and wasted time. So our goal today is simple. We're going to replace all that confusion with some real confidence so you can pick the path that's genuinely right for you.
Here's how we're going to do it. First, we'll break down the real difference between analytics, science, and AI. Then I'm going to show you the single biggest mistake that almost every beginner makes and point you to exactly where you need to start. From there, we'll lay out the whole roadmap from zero to your first job, talk about turning those skills into a paycheck, and finally, make sure your next step is totally clear.
All right, first things first, let's tackle these big buzzwords. We're going to strip away all the jargon and break them down with some simple ideas that actually make sense in the real world.
Okay, so think of data analytics like looking in your car's rearview mirror. It's all about understanding what has already happened. So let's say a company's sales suddenly dropped last month. A data analyst is the detective who dives into the data to figure out why. Was it a bad marketing campaign? A new competitor? Analytics tells us what happened in the past so we can make smarter moves today.
Now, if analytics is the rearview mirror, data science is looking forward through the windshield. See the difference? It goes beyond just understanding the past to actually predicting the future. So a data scientist wouldn't just ask why sales dropped, they'd build a model to forecast what sales are going to look like next month, helping the business get ready for what's coming down the road.
And that brings us to AI. This is like putting the car on autopilot. It's not just about seeing the past or predicting the future, it's about taking action all by itself. You see this every day. Think about Netflix recommending the perfect show for you or ChatGPT writing an email. These systems don't just analyze or predict. They do things. They act.
So let's just boil it all down. Data analytics helps you understand the past, data science helps you predict the future, and AI helps you automate action. You see that? Each one kind of builds on the one before it. It's a natural progression. Okay, now that we've got that clarity, let's talk about where your journey should actually begin. Because this, right here, is where most people get it wrong. And it's a mistake that can seriously derail your career before it even gets going.
Here it is. The biggest mistake is getting starstruck by the cool factor of AI or data science and trying to jump straight to the end. It's kind of like trying to write a novel when you haven't learned the alphabet yet. Sure, you might have the fancy software, but you won't have a clue how to create anything meaningful with it.
And this really gets to the core of it. Look, anyone can learn to click buttons in a program, but the real skill, the thing that companies will actually pay you for, is your ability to think, to ask the right questions, to be curious, and to figure out the story the data is trying to tell you.
So here it is. My clearest, most direct advice, you have to start with data analytics. It is the bedrock. It's the foundation that everything else is built on. It's where you learn how to think. Skipping this step is what causes all that confusion. And you know what? Confusion kills progress every single time.
Okay, so you're on board. You're ready to start with analytics. Awesome. But what does that actually look like? How do you do it? Well, let's lay out a super clear step-by-step roadmap to take you from knowing nothing to being totally job ready.
We can break this whole journey down into a few manageable chunks. Look, this isn't going to happen overnight, but it is a clear, structured path. It takes this huge, scary goal and turns it into a series of smaller steps you can actually achieve.
So in those first couple of months, you're just focusing on the absolute basics. And notice, we're not even talking about fancy tools yet. It's all about building that analytical mindset, learning just enough statistics to be useful, and no, you do not need to be a math genius, and then getting your hands dirty with data prep.
And let's be real for a second about that data prep part. It is not glamorous, but it's where like 80% of the work happens. Real-world data is a mess. It's a puzzle with missing pieces, typos, duplicates, everything. Learning how to clean that up and make it usable, that is a legitimate superpower.
Okay, once that foundation is rock solid, then you start building your toolkit. You're going to get really good at Excel. Trust me, it's still a powerhouse in the business world. Then you'll learn SQL, which is completely non-negotiable for getting data from databases. After that, you'll add Python for more complex stuff, and finally, a tool like Power BI or Tableau to make your data look amazing and tell a story.
Learning all those tools is great, but it's really only half the battle. The real magic happens when you connect your skills to what the business actually cares about. This is how you go from just being a learner to being an earner.
So imagine this. You've done all your analysis, you've crunched the numbers, and you walk into your boss's office and say, "Our customer retention is 82%. Okay, great. You've stated a fact. But a real analyst knows that's just the beginning.
You have to ask the most important question in all of analytics. So what? Who cares? Is 82% good? Is it bad? Is it better than last year? What's causing it to be 82%? Answering these questions is what provides value. That's what turns a number into a decision.
Burn this into your brain. A beautiful chart is nice to look at, but it's totally useless if it doesn't lead to a smarter decision or a better outcome. Companies don't hire you to make things pretty. They hire you to help them win. They pay for impact.
And these last steps are all about proving you can create that impact. You're going to build a portfolio of projects that shows off how you think. You'll write a resume that screams results, not just skills. And yeah, you're going to get ready for interviews. This is where a lot of people freeze up, right? The fear's real. But your portfolio is your secret weapon. It lets you walk into that room with actual proof, ready to show them how you solve problems, not just tell them what you know.
So, we have covered a ton of ground. We've taken this confusing, messy crossroads and turned it into a clear, straight path. You now know the difference between these fields, you know exactly where to start, and you have the step-by-step guide to get there.
And this is really the last idea I want to leave you with. It is so easy to get caught up in the hype, to chase whatever the newest, shiniest thing is. But a real, long-lasting, successful career, that's built on a foundation of clarity and purpose. And now, you have that clarity.
So after all this, what's the very first, most important skill you need to start this journey? It's not a tool, it's not Excel, it's not Python. It's learning how to think. Everything else, absolutely everything, is built right on top of that. Start there, and I promise you'll be on the right path.